What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and I know another upload, but they dropped that Johnny Nelson model and then they dropped a clip which is 15 seconds long, the longest little clip we've had so far of finally female fighters in game between Katie Taylor and Jessica McCaskill. Now this is a 15-second clip, a lot happened, so I'm going to break it down. This is one of those things where at first you watch and you're like, and the more you look, the better it gets. It honestly is one of those things. I'm not gonna lie. The first watch, you may be like, I didn't really pick up on anything, because a lot does happen. Because at the end of the day, what I feel like what's happening with us and with the community, we're being drip fed these things, you know. So when we see something, we're so critical, and then it's like, okay, let's actually take a step back and look at it. You know, when we get to see the full rounds, we get to enjoy it. But when it's 15-second clips, it's like, look, and then it's gone. So, you know, I'm going to be breaking it down as well. I'm going to be giving my honest opinion. You guys know that, you know, likes, dislikes of it. Between Katie Taylor and Jessica McCaskill, great to finally see. Remember to take into consideration the weight class, the gender. I think a lot of people are expecting every punch to be this massive knockout punch. That's just not how boxing is, you know. Boxing doesn't always have that high knockout percentage, even in heavier weights. But just remember that, you know, neither of these girls are real punchers. So just remember, there, of course, you know, we'll go through reactions to punches. I just want to remind people, because I think people sometimes expect a flush shot should equal a KO. And that's not what they're going for with this game, which I can't wait for. So yeah, before we get into it, before I break it down, I'm going to show it to you guys once or twice, as usual, right now.
The winner of this surely will get a world title.
So right off the rip, the first thing I want to talk about, as always, guys, I'm looking down at my phone. That's why I'm not, like, trying to hide from you guys. I'm looking down at my phone. Right off the rip, one thing we see is the rival gloves, guys. We see Katie Taylor's rival gloves in-game. Jessica McCaskill does have the blank whitish grey gloves, but we see Katie Taylor with the gold rival gloves, which is just awesome to see. Finally getting those brands on show, which I just love to see. We get to see her full fight kit with the black shorts, the black top with the gold trim. We get to see Jessica McCaskill's black shorts with the white trim, which is awesome to see. Now, right off the start, we see both ladies, actually from more of a back angle, and we see Kate Taylor just land a close in 1-2, and as she throws a 2, she steps back, just a simple step back and 2, which I really like. The jab is a little bit farty, you know, it is kind of inside the range, you know, it's not full extension, but it is what it is, it's at that range. And the step back with the 2, I really like, because it's not 2 step back, and it's not step back and then 2, it's step back 2, and I really like that. I like that it goes like that. And then we see her rip this body shot. Now, I like the body shot. We see a boom, nice body shot, but we see very little reaction. We kind of see Jessica McCaskill's face kind of grunt on it. Like, you know, we see visible pain in her face, but we see no visible reaction in the body as of right yet. And of course, remember, guys, the only way this game is going to improve in leaps and bounds, which is what we want, is for them to give us hands-on, which is why I'm so confident we'll be hands-on this year. It's all well and good us saying, it looks like this, it looks like that. We need to be hands-on to experience it and go, okay, now let's give them this information while we're playing, because we can only look so much, you know. That's the problem with clips and seeing gameplay. We need to be hands-on. I'm aware of that, guys, don't worry. I think sometimes you guys think I don't agree. I 100% agree. We need to be hands-on. But I think that will help improve the game in leaps and bounds, as opposed to just little baby steps they're taking. So we see the 1-2, as I mentioned, and then we see the nice body shot. I like it. Under the elbow, kind of into the waistband, a little bit of a lower blow than we would like, but still a nice body shot nonetheless. But like I said, the only thing we see is Jessica's reaction in her face, not so much in her body, which is a little bit of a shame. Then we see 2 hooks be thrown. Both ladies throw a hook. Katie's is the backhand and McCaskill's is the lead hand. So Katie's completely misses. I don't quite get why. I feel like, yes, there's no tracking, which is good, but I feel like that arm should have just extended out that little bit more to land that shot. You know, she was in the right range. We can't even say she wasn't in range. She was in the correct range to throw a good hook there, not loaded up, just a good backhand hook, and it completely missed. That's just bug glitch issue, let's call it that for now, that will be fixed in the future, of course. And then Jessica McCaskill's comes over the arm. I think even though Katie's missed, it kind of makes Jessica McCaskill's hook look even better. The lead hook coming over Katie Taylor's shoulder and bicep, straight across the chin, snapping the head, and then Jessica McCaskill following up with another big shot that hits the glove. And while I like that the glove reacts here, you'll see the glove reacts here. If I play it for you guys, obviously, as always, I play it for you in slow-mo and normal speed. Even in normal speed, we can see it does very little to the glove. I'm kind of disappointed. I'd like to have maybe to pull the glove down a bit more. Maybe not, because is Jessica McCaskill going to throw the hook and fly away with it? She's not going to do that. She's going to hit and come back. So I suppose I'm kind of correcting my own critique there. You know, you're not going to follow through with that hook all the way. Second you see it doesn't land, you're not just going to go, see you later, Katie, and disappear, you know. So I suppose maybe that could be the argument. My other thing I'd like to have seen that extend a bit and go behind the guard, because that would have been perfect. Other than that, I really like the first hook though, right over the shoulder of Katie, across the chin, snaps the head. Love to see it, and then follows up with another hook, you know. So it just shows that, like, you know, the opportunal punches are definitely there. The head movement, I think it's just the head movement there, like, while yes, it looks quicker than when I played back in March, which is great, I'm seeing it just was useless. It kind of looks ugly because it wasn't a used toy. I mean, if Jessica had thrown another hook and Katie had gone under it, we'd gone, that looks really good. But it was just kind of like throwing a punch at complete out of range, or, you know what I mean? Just like, it looks good, but it's just, as always, guys, we often critique, like when we talk about it in the comments and not on the channel, we talk about how it's being played as well. And right now it's just head movement that wasn't utilised. That's all, but it's nothing a big deal. And then we see, yeah, again, because what you might not have noticed is throughout this head movement, Jessica McCaskill is using really little baby steps to create an angle here, as you'll see. So as Katie pops her head up, she throws a body shot. But at that point, she's face down. If you'll see, she's face down, head movement, and Jessica McCaskill has taken these little baby steps to create a unseen angle almost. Kate Taylor then throws the body hook, and she's not there. And then bam, Jessica McCaskill's body hook is right there in return to the solar plex. Again, a great shot that rumbles the screen, but unfortunately, no real reaction other than the kind of groaning on Katie's face. And then Katie returns with a back hook of her own to the head, and Jessica McCaskill returns with a back hook of her own to the head yet again, and then they go back to the reset. So I'm going to start that again from the head movement position. So from the second she starts that head movement, you'll see Jessica McCaskill takes those baby steps, those really short steps, and then Katie pops up to throw the body shot, and McCaskill isn't there. And that's what I've been saying to you guys. I've been saying about the angles. It's all about angles in fighting, in MMA, in boxing, and in this video game. They want it to be about those angles. You cannot just let your fighter will not just pop for you. It's gonna take that second. Your fighter is off an angle. You've created an angle there. Jessica McCaskill player has created a good angle using small steps. So when Kate has popped her head up to throw that shot, McCaskill's not there. Lands the body shot of her own, eats the head hook, and you'll see, other than when Katie Taylor had that big head snap of the reaction to McCaskill's hook, you'll see McCaskill actually doesn't react too much. She gets hit a little bit, but as she's kind of cocking back, the punch kind of moves her upper body as opposed to just her head there, which is good to not see overly head snap in every single shot. Remember when we had that, when it was like every single shot was almost like their head got punched around? We're not seeing that now. And then we see Jessica McCaskill follow up with a nice shot that kind of turns Katie more square on, does turn the head, not as vicious as we saw a moment ago at the start of the clip. So we're seeing different reactions to shots. We're not just seeing the same angle, the same constant rotation of every head to every shot. We're seeing different rotations to different shots. I really like it. Now, Katie's block, that's obviously the directional block, I want to say, because she's defending this side of her head. While not visually amazing, it's definitely a useful tool. I can't complain. And again, we'll see Katie's making those side steps. McCaskill throws that jab and is completely off because Katie is creating that angle. Both women, again, are kind of trying to create an angle. We have a bit of a messy sequence here where two straight shots land. Katie seemed to be some kind of power, but I'm not quite sure how. And, those straights are very fast, like overly fast off this move. That whole motion of those two straights is over in the blink of an eye. It's a bit too fast for me, to be honest. I don't mind it, like, as a whole of a sequence, but you'll just see, like, I suppose that is a quick shot, so yes, it does make sense. I think it's just, they kind of collide, little bit of messy animation. That happens, like I said, guys, that shit's going to get ironed out. I'm not worried. It's just something I want to bring up. We see a bit of a spray of the sweat. We see Katie's head get moved, and we see McCaskill's head kind of just pushed back a little bit. We see two different reactions of the straight. We see Katie go this way, and we see McCaskill's head go back like that, which you just love to see. And then we see McCaskill pop out a jab that it completely misses, and then Katie try to throw like a nice, kind of more of an overhand as opposed to just a tight hook at range, and they both miss. So we see like a nice sequence here of Katie's block up. She's rotating around, causes McCaskill to miss. Now, if McCaskill doesn't throw that straight, that's a lovely sequence. Creates another angle, McCaskill misses the jab, and Katie loads up with her own straight. But because they both threw their straight, which is fine, McCaskill's more hits her in the shoulder, but the head reacts. Like I said, that shit's just going to get ironed out most likely. And then misses the jab, misses the hook, like I said. And then just a little tap jab again, snaps the head back. And then we see a big shot as Katie's stepping back. So this is one of my favourite shots of the clip. This is the second to last shot, I believe. McCaskill loads up to throw a body uppercut and misses by literally an ant's nut. Literally misses as Katie throws a massive shot to the head. I mean, we've seen this fight in real life. Jessica McCaskill can eat shots and keep walking forwards. I wasn't expecting a drop or a knock or a rock or nothing here. But we see a big shot land. If that's you, if you're the McCaskill player, you're going to think again before throwing that body hook like that. That's just a lovely shot. Just loads up. Katie steps back as she throws the hook. Lovely bit of range across the temple. Out of range as well as landing her shot. Little bit of a... both ladies kind of go into like a more fluid movement here as opposed to the more tight movement they've had for the previous few seconds. And then we see a missed body shot by McCaskill, a nice backhand hook by Katie, and then a missed straight by McCaskill. But let's just watch that lovely end sequence there where Katie steps back and throws that hook across the head, and then again with another hook. That backhand hook was obviously a great tool there. McCaskill was open for it. The McCaskill player needs to learn to keep their guard up a little bit. That's what we're seeing. And I really like it. And in slow-mo, it looks even better because there is so much going on. It's kind of hard to break it down when like I said, guys, we're only seeing these little clips. So we're watching it and we're watching and watching it. I think for me, it helps me to slow it down. I like watching it in slow-mo. I really do. And not that I want the game to be this speed, I just like watching the gameplay at that speed from time to time. I think the pace is great, and I think that the fact you can miss by inches and we're having different reactions is great. And there's a few issues like I pointed out. I'm not going to hide away from the issues, of course, it doesn't help anyone. But I really like, we're seeing some nice directional punches as well as step back punch in motion. So we're seeing Katie use her range while avoiding McCaskill's range, which is what I wanted. I wanted to see more of that, and I'd like to see more of that with someone really long like Tyson Fury, popping out that jab, moving around, but doing what Tyson does. I'd love to see that. But I like it. I'm impressed. I think, like I said, guys, it's one of those things on first watch people go, oh, because I think we're so used to the textbook fighting of UFC or a Fight Night game, and I think, we're like, what, this game is going to be messy because it's about creating angles. It's about using that directional punch. It's about throwing in motion at the same time. And we're not really used to that, We're used to very strict textbook punching that's fun and simple to play. I feel like this is going to be... this is fun. When I played this game, I had so much fun. But I don't think simple is going to be the word you would describe this game. I think it's going to be a learning curve for people. I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I think the directional punching is going to be interesting as well, and we saw a good use of it there, and I honestly like this clip a lot. I think it just takes them few watches, that breaking it down a little bit for people to go, okay, like I said, we're seeing so little, and it's sometimes it's fast paced, sometimes it's slow paced, sometimes we're seeing punches we've not seen before in video games, like these directional punches. We've not seen this kind of stuff, so for a lot of people it's like, oh my god, it looks gross, because the directional punch, some people who might be coming along think that Katie Taylor's standard hook is going to be this massive shot, and it's not. That's her stepping back out of range, directional punch across the temple, getting that height on the shot, and you know what I mean. So I'm impressed. There's a few things, like I said, just like that, especially that stem straights colliding, a bit ugly. There's a few things that that obviously still need to be ironed out, but like I said, guys, they need us to be hands-on for the game to progress leaps and bounds. Right now they're taking baby steps, and we need to be hands-on for the game to progress to that next level. But that's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support on the channel lately, guys, and I appreciate the support on these breakdowns. It's always so exciting. Tomorrow might be a later upload. I'm out for dinner, so if whatever they drop, if they drop a render and gameplay, I'll probably just cover the render. But if it's a render or just gameplay, then I'll cover whichever drops. But yeah, crazy that we got a render and gameplay today. Again, crazy. But yeah, thanks always for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.